I think the tide is beginning to turn a little bit. I think people are getting a little bit woke and they're getting a little bit red-pilled, and they're whatever term you want to use, specifically on Fauci. But what is turning the tide on Fauci is a little unfortunate to me. So you may have seen this story over the weekend. Some documents were obtained by the White Coat Waste Project via a Freedom of Information Act request that showed that from October 2018 until February 2019, NIAID, that is the aspect of the National Institutes of Health that Dr. Fauci runs and has run for decades, spent $1.68 million in taxpayer funds on drug tests involving 44 beagle puppies. And the tests were pretty sick. A lot of them involved torturing the puppies. I guess that's how you'd put it. You know, putting parts of the puppies' bodies in little sealed containers with hungry little flies that would eat the puppies alive, or, poisoning the puppies and then, dissecting them and looking at what the effect of that on their organs. Or in one report said they ripped out the vocal cords of puppies so they wouldn't need to hear the puppies scream while they were conducting these medical experiments on them and in effect torturing them. So this is all very sad. This has people outraged. Bipartisan calls now for Fauci to resign, or at least to be investigated, give an answer for this. I guess it's because I'm not a dog person. I don't know. I'm not a dog person. I'm not a cat person. I'm more a people person. And I think it is an indictment of our culture that we are outraged that Dr. Fauci performed medical experiments on beagles, but we don't care that our government experiments on babies, on fetal stem cells. We create vaccines out of the cells of killed babies. We kill almost 1 million babies a year in this country through abortion. That's fine. That's to be celebrated or to be discussed in these very clinical terms. But if you conduct a medical experiment on a puppy, that's a bridge too far. Because, according to these people, the beagles are much more precious than the babies. That's what they think. It's frustrating because I don't have any problem with medical experimentation on animals. I think it's actually a good thing because you try out these new treatments on animals and you see if they work and if they don't work. And sometimes the treatments are going to kill the animals and sometimes it's going to improve the animals. And then this is a way of figuring out whether or not it's going to work on people without having to experiment on people, whether it's little babies or aborted fetal cells or actual adults, fully grown adults in the general population. Right? I would much rather experiment on a beagle than on a human being at any stage of development, whether we're talking about a little baby or a kid or a teenager or an adult. I don't think animals have any rights. I don't think we should torture animals, but C.S. Lewis makes this point. The problem with animal cruelty is not that animals have some rights that we are violating when we torture them. It's that torturing animals will deaden our humanity. The problem is actually still for us. So we shouldn't do it. We should be good stewards of creation. But there's nothing wrong with medical experiments on animals. There is something wrong with medical experiments on little babies, okay, and on adult humans and everyone in between. I'm so glad that you liked that clip. I liked it too. I did. I liked that you liked it. I'm glad that you're here and that we're here together. I want to be together a lot more, okay? In order for that to happen, you have to ring that bell. You have to subscribe. You have to head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts. You type in Michael Knowles Show, subscribe. It'll just come directly into your podcast feed. It's free. You will be up. You will not get the censored version. You're going to get the totally politically incorrect, disallowed on most big tech platforms point of view. I'll see you next time.